morning, my friends. It is time for verse of the day. We're going through the book of Romans, and today's verse is Romans chapter 3, verse 20. I'm going to read it. We're going to talk about it in a minute, and then I have a question for you at the end. So that verse says, "Therefore, by the deeds of the law, no flesh will be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin." So the law that he's talking about is all the hundreds of laws that were mentioned in the Old Testament. I say a lot that we are still held to the 10 Commandments, to the moral law. But the moral law cannot justify us. We need to understand that. Justify is a big old Christianese word that really just means to be righteous, to be made righteous. The only thing that can make us righteous is by giving our life to Christ, realizing he came to earth and got on that cross, died, and was raised on the third day. Being born again. That's the only thing that can make us righteous. Following the law can't. No one in the history of mankind, except for Jesus, has followed all of those laws. No one. And no one has been saved by following those laws. If you live by the law, you will be judged by the law. That's really important for us to understand, that the book of Romans gets into all the time. If you live by a works-based theology, that I have to be good enough, so I have to do this, then you will be judged by the law. And remember what I just said. No one except for Jesus has ever followed the law perfectly. So that's why we need Jesus, my friends. The intent of the Old Testament was to teach us that we need a Savior. It was to teach us about law. That's what verse 20 is saying. For by the law is the knowledge of sin. The Old Testament was to teach us about our need for our Savior, that we couldn't be perfect. And through being born again, we are justified. We are covered by Jesus' grace. So, my friends, a question for you today is a simple one. Are you covered by Jesus' grace? If you are, put that in the comments, my friends. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, put that so we can talk. My friends, I love you, and God's got this.